My name is Elizabeth Pampalone, and you're listening to the Absolute Marketing Podcast. Back in the day, I recorded several women in the local area who owned businesses. I called it Fearless Founders, and I recorded it live during a networking meeting at a restaurant. So you'll hear lots of restaurant noise, people talking and asking questions. It was a really, really fun time for me. So let's listen to this episode of Fearless Founders. Your name and your company and just what it is so that we have that on the beginning of the recording.
Okay, I'm Tammy Burning, and I own Ms. Mulligans Consignment Boutique, where ladies bring us their unwanted clothes that are still in excellent condition and are very much in style, and we sell them for them, and the consignor comes back and collects a check.
Awesome. All right, so I'm going to ask you some questions. Why are you so passionate about your industry?
I have always been a thrifty girl, and I was the clearance rack queen. I hate paying full price for anything, and so an opportunity presented itself for me to open my own consignment store, and I just really connected with that and plugged in with that, and am able to help women who maybe can't or are not willing to shop at a full price retail store have designer and name brand items.
What is your first memory of being in the industry?
The amount of clothes that we have in our closet that we don't want anymore that come in my door every single day. I thought when I first opened that I was going to offer a pickup service and let ladies call me, just as a way to go and get the inventory and bring it, and it is just so not necessary. It comes in just hand over fist like crazy every day, and that was just a huge surprise to me.
So how did you get to this point of opening this store? What did you do before that, and how did it kind of lead you to this?
Before I opened Miss Mulligans, I worked for SunTrust Bank, and I was there about 4.5, 5 years, and I've always wanted to have my own business. Since I was a little girl, I wanted to be a business owner, and I've written so many business plans. Anything I was interested in, I went and wrote a business plan, did research on it, and there was a consignment store that was in a space on my drive to work that I would see every day, and one day all of a sudden they weren't there, and I didn't know what had happened, but there was an empty space all set up for a retail store, and I just thought, okay, that's what I'm going to do, and drove back and forth for about a year and tried to convince my husband that this was a good idea, and we were in the middle of the worst economic downturn in our history in 2011, and finally after about a year he said, all right, go for it, do it. And so I just opened, and I've been going strong ever since. It's almost been 5 years.
What do you think your industry or the consignment industry will look like in 5 years from now?
That's an interesting question, because I thought there was really a need for it when the economy was so bad, and we've started to recover, and I thought, does that mean that ladies are going to stop shopping consignment? They're going to go back to a full price retail store, and it really hasn't changed. Once you start shopping this way and you realize the value in purchasing resale, it's very hard to go back and pay full price anywhere. So I don't think it's going to change, very much. Shopping this way will continue.
So how is a team part of your business, and how is that important?
My team in my business is basically my family. We have some other ladies, but my mom works with me every single day. My daughter, who is 21, when she's not in college, when she doesn't have class, she works with me. And then a couple other friends and family, and it's really nice to have a trusted team that can stay and work in my absence, so I can come and do things like this, or can go and market the business, or anything else that I need to do. They can do anything that I can do in my place, so I'm able to leave and leave it in their hands.
So a question about if someone was considering doing this, what are some of the things you learned along the way that you might be able to tell someone who is considering going into this?
When we started, I knew that consignment was not my idea. It wasn't anything new. I basically took what I knew about the consignment world and just tried to perfect it from a consignor standpoint and from a customer standpoint, as far as the environment and how the clothes were organized and how the store was laid out, what the process was like. Somebody going into it would just have to figure out their process and what works for them. For us, that influx of new inventory that comes in every day, we had to figure out how to make that as streamlined as possible, so the consignor, it's at their convenience to bring things in, and we just have to handle it. And we had to schedule to handle it in a way that we can get the clothes from our back room and onto the sales floor where we can move them as quickly as possible. So there was a lot of trial and error in that respect until we finally, I think, come up with a system that we've perfected that works for us and still works for our consignor.
And it sounds a lot like the 3 Ps, having you have the people, you have the product, and the process was really where you had to solidify everything, and you've kind of got that down pat now.
Exactly.
Too. So now you have all 3 of them.
Yes.
Okay, so if you were talking to a younger you, what advice would you give, and would you listen to it? Would you have listened to it?
Yes, I would say definitely enlist the help of an accountant. I went and talked to a business advisor at UNF. They have free advisors that you can go and talk to. I would solicit the help of an advisor, visit consignment stores. I went and visited a couple consignment stores. I had some people that were willing to talk to me and some that were not so giving with advice. But go and do your homework, learn as much as you can about it. Maybe even, volunteer to work a little bit in one of these stores just to kind of figure out, how it works and what you might want to change and what you might want to keep the same. I would definitely say that's what I would do if I were doing it all over again.
And what's some of the best advice that a mentor has given you?
I had a mentor that told me I didn't know what I wanted to specialize in. When I first opened, I wanted to be a family consignment business, and I had baby clothes, I had children's, I had men's, and I had ladies. And she said, try it and you'll figure out what moves and what doesn't move, and you'll figure out, what you're going to specialize in. And that turned out to be just ladies. We had still some juniors things, but try everything and let your customer tell you what they want. And that was probably the most helpful piece of advice that I got.
What would you consider one of your greatest accomplishments?
Being in business 5 years. I'm looking to open a second store. I want to expand. And I would say just staying in it, rolling with it, changing things that need to be changed, and sticking it out for 5 years.
So what's an experience that you've had that's because of entrepreneurship that you wouldn't have had if you were, let's say, still at the bank? Something that's happened or opportunities?
I would say maybe not an experience per se, but just personal growth. I've gained a lot of confidence. Networking is very, very scary to me, and I once upon a time would have been the girl hiding out in the bathroom, and now I come in and I stand up and introduce myself, and it's not quite as scary as it used to be, but I've had an opportunity to be on live TV. I've been in different networking groups. I've spoke with women's groups and held fashion shows for different church organizations and ladies groups, and just met a lot of other ladies and business owners that I would not have had an opportunity to meet otherwise.
How do you stay motivated as an entrepreneur? Because you're the boss.
Yes. I have to keep changing things. Well, and it could be something as simple as changing the decor. I'm a crafty person, and I'll create something or repurpose a piece of furniture or, redecorate the store. That helps me stay motivated. I try to come up with different promotions and sales and giveaways, and that kind of helps me stay motivated. And the customers and ladies that come in the door, I have a lot of friendships now with ladies that are my regulars, but I still meet new ladies every day. And that kind of breathes new life into you, and you can introduce your store to somebody that's never been there before, and they say, wow, this is so great. And that I think keeps me going.
What's something you use every day to keep you organized?
Oh, I'm a paper planner kind of girl. I have an old-fashioned calendar, and I write everything down. I do some technology. I use a calendar on my phone as well. But I will I have a to-do list every single day in a calendar that I check in with just to make sure I'm on task. If there's something I'm not really good at doing, I will delegate that to somebody else and get someone else to do it that's better at it than I am. And but I'm pretty much a paper planner kind of girl.
What's something that you're glad that you did, even though it might have been a big deal at the time, maybe early on in the business?
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. That's a tough one. Elizabeth, something that I'm glad I did that was a big deal. I guess probably going and sitting down and talking with an advisor, I think, because I was a little nervous about that, and it was a gentleman. I thought, is he going to get it? Is he going to know what consignment is? But his advice and his support, I think, was huge. So I think that would probably be the biggest deal. Almost something that I skipped, and I would say definitely don't skip it.
What's something that you haven't done yet that you know you need to do?
Something that I haven't done yet that I know that I need to do. I don't know. Something that I haven't done yet. What's that?
Speak to an attorney.
All right, I'm going to have you use 3 adjectives to describe yourself.
Oh my goodness. Happy. Athletic. I'm a runner. And a people person.
And would you consider yourself a hustler?
Would I consider myself? Yes. Yes, definitely.
All right, and what's your favorite you time activity?
Running. Running or working out.
All right, what's your biggest time waster?
Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram.
All right, I'm going to give you some rapid fire questions. I'm going to give you a word, and you just give me the first word that comes to mind.
One word back?
It's just one word
Okay.
back. Yeah,
Okay.
rapid fire words. All right. So, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Love.
Husband.
Work.
Fun.
Team.
Family.
Success.
Success.
Hurdle.
Phone calls.
Leadership.
Hard work.
Hard work. Professionalism.
Oh my goodness. Polished.
Client.
Customer.
Networking.
Ooh, scary.
Well, I want to thank you for answering all the questions and, being so, giving us all the information and insight into what you do and your business. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
I have one. So how do you think about these platforms that are emerging like Stitch Fix and online, and how do you guys kind of combat that, and how would you offer an experience so that people would come into the store versus trying to find somebody to help them with their style online?
Okay, so I'm going to repeat the question real quick in case we didn't hear it all the way over there.
Okay.
So Stitch Fix and things like that, how are you making yourself differentiate from that and making more people come into the store rather than go online to buy things?
Mm-hmm. I do an event a couple of times a month where we have a personal shopper, a personal stylist come in, and we put that out and let ladies know that if they have any questions or need any help or would like to set up an appointment, they can come in and meet with her. And sometimes they find things in the store, sometimes she helps them, and maybe I don't have that piece then, but I'm on the lookout for it, and then we set up kind of a wish list, and when it comes in, then I call them. Sometimes they bring a piece that they have in their closet that they've never been able to find anything to wear with it, and they're stuck on it, and she'll help them out. So we kind of network with a stylist that is on hand and available if we need her.
Any other questions? Well, I hope that you guys will all go and check out her store for sure, and the dollar sales are one of the stylist events. They're really awesome.
It's on San Jose, just north of Loretto Road.
So, and I have tons of clothes in there, so if you see something that I've worn before, it's because all my stuff's in there. I take her half my closet like every 3 months. So, but I want to thank you very much and give you a hand. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to the Absolute Marketing Podcast. If you'd like to learn more, please visit getabsolutemarketing.com.